Now we're going to start learning about dictionaries, which dictionaries are very similar to lists in some ways, but also have some key differences. I like to call them cousins because they're related, but they're not exactly the same. So dictionaries get their name from a dictionary, just like you would think, like the physical book where you look up a word and then it gives you the definition of that word. So with dictionaries, they're called a key value pair, where in the example of the dictionary, the word that you're looking up is the key and then the definition is the value. So let me go ahead and walk through an example, and I think this will start to make sense. So let's say we have a bunch of cats and we want to categorize them based off their age. Well, let's go ahead and create a variable called cats, and to make a dictionary in Python, we're going to do curly brackets. So with lists, we do square brackets. With dictionaries, we do curly brackets. And inside of these curly brackets, we're going to first provide a key, aka the word. This is the word that we're looking up, and then eventually we'll provide the definition or the value. So for the cat, the name of the cat is going to be the key. So in this case, I'm going to have a cat named Jane. And then I'm going to provide a colon, and now I'm going to provide the value, the age of this particular cat. So this cat is 6 years old. So here I have a dictionary called cats with Jane as the key and 6, the cat's age, as the value. So there's only one entry into this dictionary. Let's add a second. So let's say I add another cat named Tom. I'm going to provide a comma to separate the two. That, again, is similar to lists. When you separate items in your list, you have a comma. When you separate entries in your dictionary, you have commas separating them. So I have Tom for the key, and then I'm going to do a colon, and then I'm going to provide Tom's age, which maybe Tom is 14 years old. Let's add one more entry again. Going to do a comma. I have to provide the name of another cat. So let's just go ahead and do Sarah, and Sarah is going to be 8 years old. So here we have a dictionary with 3 entries, and we have strings as the keys and ints as the values. So if we just want to see what this looks like, let's go ahead and print this in the console. So I'm going to say print cats. It looks really similar to how we set things up. But let's say we want to go grab a specific item from the dictionary. Well, like lists, we go ahead and we put square brackets at the end of this, but we just put the key that we're looking for. So for example, if I want to see how old Tom the cat is, I type capital Tom and hit run, and I get back the number 14 because it looks up the word or the key Tom and gives me back the value or definition of 14. And it's really important that I spell Tom with all the correct spelling. If I have lowercase Tom here, you'll notice I get an error here that says, hey, I can't find this in the dictionary. It has to be the exact spelling. So let's try this out with Jane. If I want to get Jane's age, you'll see I get the number 6. And this is a one-way street. We can only provide the keys here. For example, if I say, find me the cat with the age of 8. So I put 8 inside of the square brackets, I'm going to get an error. I can only provide keys here. So some additional things that we can do with dictionaries. Let's say that we want to add something new to the dictionary. I can just say the name of the dictionary, cats, and provide a new key. Like, let's introduce a new cat named Wilson. And let's say that Wilson is very young, just 1 year old. If we now print out the dictionary of cats, you'll see Wilson has been added to the dictionary. If we wanted to delete something from the dictionary, we can say del, just like we did before with lists, and provide the name cats, square brackets, and let's say we want to get Tom out of the dictionary. If we go ahead and run this now, you can see Tom has been deleted. So you know how to add, you know how to delete. Same thing with list 2. If you want to find the length of a dictionary, you can go ahead and do that as well. Let's put this inside of our print statement here. Okay, this will give us the lengths of the cats dictionary, and there you can see it. So to make sure you got a good grasp on dictionaries, my challenge for you is create a dictionary with ints for keys and booleans for values. You can feel free to name it whatever it is that you'd like. Go ahead, hit pause, do that now. Okay, hopefully that went well. So I'm going to create a new dictionary here. I'm going to just call this simply what it is. I'm going to call it ints and bools. And I'm going to say that this is a dictionary because I've got my curly brackets. So I'm going to provide an int, like let's just say the number 5 for the key, and I'm going to say colon, and then provide either true or false. So I've got true here. Let's do the number 7, which in this case we'll say is false, and then we'll do like 144, and this is also false. So here you can see I have a dictionary with integers as the keys and booleans as the values. And one last tidbit, you'll notice sometimes, whether it be lists or dictionaries, you can have spaces in between the items in there, or you can have them right next to each other. Personally, I like to have one space after each just so that it's a little bit easier to read, but both are completely valid Python code.